Now to the scales.
We had to snatch up our guy who's always in the mix from New York, from DiBella Entertainment, Lou DiBella.
I want to know where my fedora is. Yours is coming.
Where's my fedora?
It's coming.
I need a fedora right
They
now.
didn't have one to fit your size, so.
This is the man that fights behind the scenes for the fighters.
Yeah, listen, Lou. So my question to you is the first thing, because I haven't spoken to you since all of this has transpired. Like, how do you do it? You're on one side, you're working with one guy that supposedly doesn't get along with one team. Then you're on this side. Seems like you get along with everybody.
You know, they used to call me like Combustible Lou. They used to say I went off like a volcano. Now I'm Switzerland. but look, Heyman's been my friend for 20 years, and I do business with PBC, and I'll continue to. And if Showtime has an opportunity for my fighter, then my fighter will go there. And if Derevyanchenko is fighting Dana Jacobs on HBO, HBO is heading out of the business. DAZN's a new player. DAZN's given a great opportunity to Tevin Farmer. He's fighting Tennyson Saturday night. So I'm out there right now. I'm in a pretty good situation. I'm willing to do business with everybody, and I'm looking for the biggest opportunities for my fighters. The more success the boxing industry has, the more success everyone has, the better it is for
Everyone needs to look at it that way.
the better it is for the fighters, the better it is for the managers, the better it is for everybody. So right now, I ain't hating on anybody. I want to see my industry rise again. And it still needs, this isn't the end. This is the beginning of the game. It's the beginning of a new era. Beginning of an era, and it needs to rise. And I want to be part of that rise.
I mean, I wish all the promoters had your mindset. Speaking of Tevin Farmer, I mean, can you possibly be the liaison to make the Gervonta Davis fight happen with Tevin, being that you are in a great
you know what?
relationship?
Gervonta's got a promoter. It's Mayweather. He's got a long-term promotional contract. You know, people got to do what they think is right. And for Gervonta to come over here right now, you know, Eddie or DAZN have to work. Eddie and DAZN have to deal with Mayweather Promotions. They have a contract with Gervonta. I came over here with Tevin because it was the right thing for Tevin. James Tennyson's not a walkover fight. The guy can punch like a mule. But Tevin's getting paid better than he's ever been paid in his life. I view that as my job. If a fighter trusts me with their career, with their life, I got to get out there and try to make the biggest things, the best things happen for them. And I'm open, wide open to doing the best business I could do with anybody in our industry.
I believe that.
I'm pro boxing, man. I'm pro boxing.
You've always shown that with Tevin Farmer. You know, when everybody else counted him out, you always believed him and you spoke highly of him always. And another thing you did is you're kind of the guy that opened the door for women's boxing in New York.
Hey, women's boxing's right now in the midst of a big rise. And you see on this card, you have Amanda Serrano fighting, you have Katie Taylor fighting Cindy Serrano. In the background lurks one of the best women in the world, Amanda Serrano, Cindy's sister.
Looking close.
I don't think Katie should look past Cindy, but let's face realities. Cindy's in her mid-30s. She's moving up 2 weight classes. This for her it's a very tough fight. But she's a champion. She wanted an opportunity on a big platform, and she's getting it.
She wanted a big test.
She wanted a big fight, a big test. She didn't want it. And you know, exactly. She's a real Brooklyn girl. And, you know, there's big stuff happening. There's Cecilia Brackhouse out there. There's Amanda out there. There are other women champions that are becoming. Women's boxing is going to also be advantaged by DAZN, by ESPN and ESPN
Claressa
Plus.
Shields is fighting on DAZN.
There you go. And then Claressa Shields will wind up also fighting on Showtime. And you know what? It's not. You got to look at this as a whole. It's still the boxing universe. I don't think any. I certainly don't believe I have to be in bed with only one person.
I don't know. Your wife might feel that way, but okay.
At home, I'm in bed with only one person. but in business, that's not in the interest of my fighters. It's not in the interest of my company.
Lou, let's talk.
And look, I'm not gonna BS. I've had a long-standing relationship. I've had a great opportunity to promote some great shows with BBC, and I look forward to continuing to do that in the future. But I hope to be holding a DAZN mic more often also.
Yes, but Lou, let's talk about the big news. I mean, obviously, the Canelo deal. How huge is that for boxing? Not just for DAZN. I mean, it's like a biggest sports deal. Like an athlete's done a long time.
It remains to be seen how it's great for Canelo. Great for Golden Boy. They have a home now where they were displaced when HBO went out. And they were going to lose their series on ESPN. So it's good for them. Canelo's making a crazy amount of money. But it remains to be seen. Look, I'm rooting for the success of everybody. DAZN's got to bring eyeballs to their app. You guys got to get people to subscribe and view. Canelo's a locomotive, and I think that the reason this extraordinary investment was made was because Dazn correctly knew they had to make a lot of noise. They had to do something that was going to shake the tree. So, I mean, how big is it boxing? It remains to be seen. Does it change the landscape? Yeah, possibly. Do I believe pay-per-view will stop existing? No. I don't believe it'll
eventually stop existing.
No. Well, I mean, Eddie will be the first one to tell you it's not going away in England. You think it's going to go away here?
Right.
And by the way, Wilder Fury's December 1. Wilder Fury's December 1. So, you know, there's big stuff coming, but it may change the rules in pay-per-view. Right now, the pay-per-view industry in the United States gets half the money. And that's why, I mean, the cable companies and the dish networks and the distributors get half the money. And that's one of the reasons why the retail price, the suggested retail price for pay-per-view here is so high. With this deal happening, if a Floyd Mayweather comes out of retirement now, he's going to go to cable industry and say, well, take your 50% and nah. Now, like, let's talk about a realistic deal. When the splits change, the suggested retail price can come down. So I don't think pay-per-view is going away. I don't think the Canelo deal kills pay-per-view. I think we're in a period of flux and change. Change can be good. Particularly, look, boxing's been thriving in the UK more than it's been thriving here. It needed its ass kicked in the US. Now you have DAZN. You have other streaming services emerging. You have free television with Fox making a deal with PBC. There's a lot more action. In the long run, action can only be a good thing.
Well, listen, you're setting the tone as far as being a promoter, being able to mix with everybody. So we're happy that you're a part of it.
I'm happy to be here, and I think it's gonna be a great show Saturday night.
DiBella, folks.